me ask you something. What if you gave the next 90 days everything you had? I mean, all in, burn the boats, no excuses, energy. Where would your life, your business, your mindset be if you stopped negotiating with yourself and committed like your future depended on it? Because here's the truth, success doesn't take years, it takes commitment. And if you're thinking 3 months isn't enough time, I'm here to tell you it's more than enough. If you move fast, stay focused, and execute with intensity. One of the biggest lies we've been sold is that we need to wait until we're ready. That somehow there's a magical moment where the stars align and we suddenly feel confident, capable, and clear. But the truth is, that moment never comes. You don't get clarity by thinking. You get clarity by moving. Success isn't about waiting, it's about doing. The people who are winning, they're not waiting until everything is perfect. They're moving fast, making decisions and figuring it out along the way, because speed is the competitive advantage that most people ignore. While others are still researching, preparing, or hesitating, the winners are already in motion, already adapting, already learning in real time. Success loves speed because action creates momentum, and momentum is what keeps you going when motivation dies. Perfection is a delay tactic. It feels productive, but it's really just fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not getting it right. But the fastest way to learn is to start. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need to trust that you'll figure it out as you go. That's where growth lives, outside of the comfort zone. In the doing, not the planning. The idea that you have to get it perfect the first time is what keeps most people stuck. They think if they just tweak the plan one more time, get one more opinion, run one more test, then maybe they'll be ready. But in the real world, the people who succeed are the ones who move first and adjust later. They launch, get feedback, and iterate. They treat life and business like a lab, not a museum. It's about testing, not preserving. The faster you test, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you win. Think about it. If you're aiming for perfection, you're aiming for something that doesn't even exist. Nothing will ever be flawless. And that's okay, because progress beats perfection every single time. It's not the perfect plan that wins. It's the plan that gets implemented. So stop waiting for everything to be just right. It won't be, but you will get better with each rep. Each action compounds. Each step forward builds confidence. And that confidence, that's what transforms your identity. Not thinking about it, doing it. When you decide to act fast, you tap into something most people never experience: trust in yourself. Not fake confidence, but earned confidence, because you've taken the shot. You've made the move. You've shown yourself that you are someone who acts despite fear, who executes under pressure, who doesn't need certainty to move forward. And that mindset, that's what changes the game. Success loves speed because speed forces you to grow. It forces decisions. It demands courage. And when you live in that energy, when you commit to fast action, you stop negotiating with your potential and start living up to it. So move now, not later, not perfect, just fast. In a world built to steal your attention, your ability to focus is your greatest competitive edge. Every beep, every ping, every scroll is designed to fragment your mind and pull you away from what really matters. The world is noisy, and the people who succeed are the ones who know how to cut through that noise with ruthless focus. Focus isn't just a productivity tool, it's a mindset. It's the ability to say no again and again to everything that isn't the mission. It's having the discipline to protect your attention like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The most successful people don't do more, they do less, and they do it better. They choose what matters most and pour their full energy into that one thing. That's where impact happens. That's where results multiply. Distractions are seductive. They give you the illusion of progress. You feel busy, you feel like you're doing something, but being busy isn't the same as being effective. True progress only comes when you lock in on the one thing that moves the needle and give it your full undivided attention. That means turning off notifications. That means putting your phone in another room. That means saying no to meetings that don't matter, to people who drain you, to tasks that don't serve your bigger vision, because every yes to a distraction is a no to your purpose. Focus is also about clarity. When you don't know what matters most, everything feels urgent. But once you define your goal, once you get radically clear on what you want, everything else becomes noise. And that's where power comes from. When your energy is directed toward one outcome without scattering it across a dozen tasks for ideas, your results compound. You move faster. You go deeper. You start to operate on a different level. Distractions aren't just external, they're internal too. It's the urge to check your phone, the need to switch tasks when something gets hard, the desire to avoid discomfort. Focus means learning to sit with that discomfort and push through it. It means building the muscle to stay locked in when your mind wants to run. That's where elite performance is born, in the moments where others would break their concentration and you choose to keep going. Every time you allow a distraction to win, you're training your brain to seek comfort over progress. But every time you choose focus, you strengthen your capacity to do hard things, to go deep, to build real momentum. The greatest results don't come from scattered effort. They come from sustained focus, from being all in on the task at hand, the project in front of you, the goal you've set. Focus isn't easy. That's why it's rare, but it's also why it's so powerful. When you master your focus, you master your future, because where your attention goes, your results follow. Most people think they need more discipline to succeed. They tell themselves they have to be stronger, more motivated, more focused, but willpower is unreliable. It fades, it runs out. And if your success plan depends on waking up every day feeling motivated, you're setting yourself up to fail. The truth is, the highest performers in the world don't rely on willpower, they rely on systems. Systems are what carry you forward when your emotions don't show up. Systems remove the need to decide. They make success automatic, not accidental. When you build systems around your goals, you're not hoping to succeed, you're engineering it. Willpower is like a battery. It depletes as you make decisions throughout the day. That's why things feel harder at night. That's why you give in to distractions, bad habits, or excuses when you're tired. But when you build systems, you take that power out of your hands and place it in the process. You create routines that guide your actions. You design environments that support your behavior. You make it easier to win and harder to fail. Systems don't care if you're tired. Systems don't care if you feel like it. They run because you built them to run. Think about the people who consistently get results. It's not that they're superhuman. It's that they have habits and processes that keep them on track. They don't negotiate with themselves every morning. They've already made the decision once and turned it into a routine. The workout is on the calendar. The deep work block is protected. The morning routine is structured. It's not about trying harder. It's about removing the friction. It's about designing your day so that the right action is the easiest one. This is why people fail with goals. They set big ambitions, but they don't create the structure to support them. They rely on motivation, which is temporary, instead of systems, which are sustainable. A goal without a system is just a wish, but a system turns your goals into daily action. It breaks big outcomes into repeatable steps. It gives you feedback. It builds confidence. And over time, it creates momentum that no amount of motivation ever could. If you want to change your life in 90 days, you don't need more energy, you need better systems. Automate your habits, design your workspace for focus, schedule your priorities, track your actions, prepare your environment, make the right choice the default choice. Every small improvement to a system multiplies your result. This is the real difference maker. It's not about pushing harder. It's about thinking smarter. Willpower might get you started, but systems are what keep you going. And if you're serious about success, You stop asking, how do I stay motivated? And start asking, how can I make this automatic? That's where real change lives, not in the moment of inspiration, but in the systems that keep running long after it fades. One of the biggest reasons people fail to follow through on their goals is because they treat them like ideas, not commitments. They keep everything in their head, hoping they'll find time or feel ready, but time doesn't appear. You have to claim it. You have to take your goals and translate them into time blocks. That's how you make them real. The calendar is not just a tool for appointments and reminders. It's the battlefield where your priorities either win or die. If something truly matters, it has to live on your calendar. Otherwise, it's just wishful thinking disguised as ambition. High performers don't operate from a to-do list, they operate from a calendar. A to-do list is infinite, vague, and overwhelming. A calendar is structured, focused, and time-bound. It forces you to make decisions. It shows you whether your goals are backed by actual time or just empty words. You say you want to grow your business, get in shape, write a book, but where is it in your calendar? If it's not scheduled, you're lying to yourself. You're relying on chance, not strategy. And that's why so many dreams never make it past intention. When you use your calendar as your scoreboard, every day becomes a game. You start measuring progress by action, not just ideas. You can look at your week and see if you've aligned your time with your priorities. Did you schedule deep work or just fill your days with meetings and busy work? Did you protect the blocks that move your life forward or let them get eaten up by distractions? Your calendar tells the truth. It doesn't care about your excuses. It reflects what you actually value, not what you say you value. This level of discipline transforms how you operate. It forces you to get honest. It challenges you to prioritize with intention because you only get so many hours in a day. And if you don't assign them with purpose, they get stolen by everything and everyone else. The calendar becomes your accountability partner. It shows you where you're winning, where you're slipping, and where you need to course correct. It eliminates the excuse of I didn't have time and replaces it with I didn't make time. This approach also brings peace. When your life is scheduled, your mind can rest. You're not constantly trying to remember everything. You're not reacting to chaos. You're leading with clarity. You know what needs to be done and when. You trust the structure you've built, and that structure frees up energy for execution. You can show up, do the work, and move forward because the plan is already laid out. And that's the real benefit. When you turn your calendar into your scoreboard, you stop playing small. You stop letting your time get hijacked by other people's agendas. You step into ownership. You stop talking about success and start living it hour by hour, block